When working in extremely cold weather, it is important to take precautions to stay warm and prevent hypothermia. There are several strategies to employ to mitigate the risks associated with frigid conditions. Firstly, wear layers of loose-fitting, lightweight clothing. The principle behind layering is to trap warm air between each layer, creating an insulation barrier. It is crucial to avoid wearing cotton as this absorbs moisture and can make someone colder. When cotton gets wet, it loses its insulating properties and draws heat away from the body. Instead, choose synthetic materials such as polyester or nylon. These materials wick away moisture, helping to keep you dry and warm. Secondly, it is important to cover the head, neck, and hands. These areas are particularly vulnerable to heat loss. The head, in particular, is a significant source of heat loss, so wearing a hat is essential. A scarf will protect the neck from the cold and wind, preventing heat from escaping. Gloves or mittens are necessary to keep hands warm and prevent frostbite. Thirdly, drink plenty of fluids. Dehydration can increase susceptibility to cold weather injuries. When the body is dehydrated, it struggles to regulate its temperature effectively. Staying hydrated helps to maintain proper circulation and warmth. Warm beverages are particularly beneficial as they provide both hydration and warmth. Fourthly, take breaks to warm up. If starting to feel cold, take a break to warm up in a heated area. This allows the body to recover and regain its core temperature. During the break, drink a warm beverage and remove any wet clothing. Wet clothing significantly reduces insulation and increases the risk of hypothermia. Fifthly, be aware of the signs of hypothermia. These include shivering, confusion, drowsiness, and loss of coordination. Shivering is an early sign of hypothermia as the body attempts to generate heat. Confusion, drowsiness, and loss of coordination indicate a more severe stage of hypothermia. If experiencing any of these symptoms, seek medical attention immediately. It is also wise to consider the wind chill factor. Wind chill is the perceived decrease in air temperature felt by the body on exposed skin due to the flow of air. Wind can quickly strip away the layer of warm air surrounding the skin, leading to rapid heat loss. Therefore, protecting exposed skin from the wind is crucial. Utilize windproof outer layers to minimize the effects of wind chill. Moreover, pay attention to the duration of exposure. Prolonged exposure to cold temperatures increases the risk of hypothermia and frostbite. Limit the amount of time spent outdoors in extremely cold conditions. Schedule tasks to minimize exposure or rotate workers to reduce individual exposure time. Regarding clothing selection, consider the specific activity being performed. For high-intensity activities, fewer layers may be needed to prevent overheating and sweating. For low-intensity activities, small layers may be necessary to maintain warmth. Choose clothing that allows for a full range of motion without restricting circulation. Poor circulation can increase the risk of cold weather injuries. Footwear is also important. Wear insulated boots that are waterproof and have good traction. Cold feet can lead to overall body cooling and increase the risk of falls on icy surfaces. Ensure that boots fit properly and do not restrict circulation. Regarding hydration, avoid excessive caffeine or alcohol consumption. Caffeine can act as a diuretic, increasing fluid loss. Alcohol can impair judgment and increase susceptibility to cold weather injuries. Instead, opt for water, herbal teas, or warm soup. These provide hydration and can help to maintain body temperature. The buddy system can be useful when working in cold weather. Working with a partner allows for mutual monitoring of signs and symptoms of cold weather injuries. Buddies can help each other stay warm and ensure that prompt medical attention is sought if needed. Before starting work in cold weather, assess the risks and develop a safety plan. Identify potential hazards and implement control measures to minimize risks. Communicate the safety plan to all workers and ensure that everyone understands their roles and responsibilities. Having access to emergency equipment is also important. Keep a first aid kit readily available, including items such as warm blankets, hand warmers, and a thermometer. Ensure that communication devices are working properly in case of an emergency. Also, consider the use of personal protective equipment. Depending on the task, safety glasses or goggles may be needed to protect the eyes from wind and ice. Face masks or balaclavas can provide additional protection for the face and neck. When taking breaks, choose a sheltered location that is out of the wind and sun. This will help to maximize the effectiveness of the break and allow the body to warm up more efficiently. Avoid sitting directly on cold surfaces, as this can draw heat away from the body. Instead, use a mat or blanket to provide insulation. Regular monitoring of body temperature is important. Use a thermometer to check body temperature periodically. A body temperature below 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius indicates hypothermia and requires immediate medical attention. Education and training are essential components of cold weather safety. Provide workers with training on the risks of cold weather exposure, prevention strategies, and emergency procedures. Ensure that everyone understands the signs and symptoms of hypothermia and frostbite. Review safety procedures regularly to reinforce best practices. Regarding specific clothing recommendations, consider using a 3-layer system. The base layer should be made of a moisture-wicking material, such as merino wool or synthetic fabric. This layer helps to keep the skin dry by drawing sweat away from the body. The middle layer should provide insulation, such as fleece or down. This layer traps warm air and helps to maintain body temperature. The outer layer should be waterproof and windproof, such as a shell jacket and pants. This layer protects from rain, snow, and wind. Adapt the layering system to the specific weather conditions and activity level. Adjust the number and thickness of layers as needed to maintain a comfortable body temperature. Avoid overheating, as sweating can lead to rapid cooling when activity levels decrease. If sweating, remove a layer of clothing to allow moisture to evaporate. Ensure that clothing fits properly and does not restrict circulation. Tight clothing can reduce blood flow and increase the risk of cold weather injuries. Choose clothing that allows for a full range of motion without binding or chafing. Consider using hand and foot warmers for extra warmth. These small, disposable packets generate heat when exposed to air. Place them inside gloves or boots to provide additional insulation. Use caution when using hand and foot warmers, as they can cause burns if used improperly. Follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Avoid wearing jewelry, as metal can conduct cold and increase the risk of frostbite. Remove rings, bracelets, and necklaces before working in cold weather. Protect electronic devices from the cold. Cold temperatures can damage batteries and affect the performance of electronic devices. Keep phones, cameras, and other devices in a warm pocket when not in use. Use insulated containers to keep beverages warm. A thermos or insulated bottle can help to maintain the temperature of hot drinks. Avoid drinking directly from metal containers, as they can conduct cold and freeze to the lips. Be aware of the potential for slips, trips, and falls on icy surfaces. Wear footwear with good traction and take extra care when walking on ice or snow. Use salt or sand to improve traction on walkways and stairs. Pay attention to weather forecasts and warnings. Stay informed about current and predicted weather conditions. Avoid working outdoors during periods of extreme cold or hazardous weather. Postpone non-essential tasks until the weather improves. Communicate regularly with workers and supervisors. Keep everyone informed about changing weather conditions and safety precautions. Encourage workers to report any concerns or symptoms of cold weather injuries. Provide regular breaks and opportunities to warm up. Allow workers to take frequent breaks in a heated area. Provide access to warm beverages and snacks. Create a supportive work environment where workers feel comfortable reporting concerns and seeking help. Foster a culture of safety where everyone is responsible for protecting themselves and others from cold weather hazards. Consider the use of engineering controls to reduce cold weather exposure. Install windbreaks or shelters to protect workers from the wind. Use radiant heaters to provide localized warmth in work areas. Provide insulated gloves, hats, and boots to all workers. Implement administrative controls to manage cold weather risks. Rotate workers to reduce individual exposure time. Schedule tasks to minimize outdoor work during the coldest parts of the day. Develop written safety procedures for cold weather work. Monitor weather conditions regularly and adjust work schedules as needed. Conduct regular safety inspections to identify and correct hazards. Investigate any incidents or near misses to prevent future occurrences. Continuously improve cold weather safety practices based on experience and feedback. Stay up to date on the latest research and best practices. Share information and resources with other organizations and individuals. Promote cold weather safety awareness in the community. By taking these precautions, you can stay warm and safe while working in extremely cold weather.